it's good to be back here. It really is. We haven't really sat down in Texas like this, you know.
A long time.
I can't remember when we played this long here, you know, in one place.
We haven't been to Texas in a while, have we?
No, I haven't.
Let's see.
So you do mostly one night. We were talking about, you know, when you were at Billy Bob's, we'd love to go out there and do the entertainers, but it's such a problem. They start the shows so late that we're into overtime before we ever even start working. And of course, you know how companies are about that. And also, it's a terrible place to shoot television. There's no place that we can really put the camera in the tripod where we can keep people from walking in front of us. And after all, when people have paid
So
their money
close.
to come in and see the show,
Yeah.
you can't be, you know, saying, hey, get out of the way of our camera. You know, you have to be sensitive to their situation,
That's
too.
right.
But we love to go out there because, you know, you get really good stuff, right? And then I'll address the first question to Jessi.
Okay.
Let me know when you're rolling.
I'm wrong.
All right. Well, Jessi and Waylon, welcome to Granny's and welcome back to Dallas. It's wonderful to see you both.
Thank you.
It's we're getting close to showtime, so I'll try to keep this interview brief. Jessi, if I may start with you. You know, all of us, we hear songs that you and Waylon do, and they evoke memories for us, and sometimes, you know, one of your songs has very special meaning for us. I'm wondering, do you and Waylon have a song that is your song?
I think if we had one that was ours, it's one that we sing called Storms Never Last. That's kind of our favorite one to do together.
Is there any special significance to it?
It's the only one we do together. No, it's not true. I just,
Yes, there's a lot of significance to
There
it,
is.
from the fact that I wrote it, you know, that really our relationship inspired me to write it, and then it was a very simple song, and I really didn't think it was worth much, and Waylon loved it, and as a result, it's been one of my most recorded songs by other artists. And then Ralph Mooney put a tremendous number of steel, you know, overdubs on it, and at one time was thinking of an instrumental himself. And then when we went in to cut it, one time was when Waylon went in to cut it, it was right after my mother's funeral, which he loved dearly. It was the first thing he sang after the loss of that. And then another time there was a tremendous legal battle going on during the time that he was singing it. So that song really has touched a lot of our life.
Kind of the ups and the downs of your life, huh?
she wrote it originally. The title was, well, let's see. Yeah, it was,
Storms Never Last, or they Waylon.
yeah.
And what is this? We need to put another word in there instead of
She's
making
going
it
to
so
throw it
personal.
away. She really was. She said, we're just not recording anything else. I said, why don't you change that and say baby or honey or Clarence or something, you know. I should have took half of it, shouldn't I?
And because of your insistence then, that's why you did it, huh?
Yeah, well, she recognized then that it was better. You know what's funny is that song don't rhyme anywhere. But that shows that each and every line stands on its own, which makes me mad. Mine have to rhyme or they don't go.
No. Baloney.
No, it don't make me mad.
Waylon, what about this new song you have out, the latest news from Nashville?
Yeah, I like that song. I wrote most of that song right in the studio. You know, I just started writing on it and it came out. You know, and I think it's funny. I think it's good, and I just trying to see if cowboy singers still had a sense of humor about themselves. You know,
Do they?
some of them do, some of them don't. But the ones that don't matter anyway. You know.
What does Willie say about it?
Willie grins and everything. Willie loved it. He did, you know, and he likes things like that. Willie's great. Willie is the same. You know what you see. Willie, that Willie is the Willie. You know, he's never any different.
Are you the same, Waylon? What we see is what we get?
That's it. I really am. You know, when I go on stage, it's like I lost my mule or something. You know, and that's about the way I am otherwise. I'm not much different. You know, I may be a little more nervous than I was years ago, but not any older. I can still jump as high, but just can't stay up there as long.
Waylon, did you ever maybe like 20 years ago, did you ever think that country music would be as widely accepted as it is now?
Yeah, I've always believed in it. You know, I thought it would. You know, it's great. You know, and I tell you, country music. The reason it wasn't bigger sooner was they have an old guard. You know, they call it. You know, in Nashville, and they. One of their favorite sayings is, "I wish L.A. and New York would leave us alone." You know, and that maybe is one of the reasons that. And they call it, you know, the people who want the pure country music. If they only realized that if you're going to have pure country music on a guitar, you'd have to use your thumb because a pick is an amplification thing, you know. But I think they're seeing more that you cannot destroy country music, you know, like with instruments. You can't change it with instruments that much. You make it bigger, you know, and have more areas. I think they just kind of sold it short for a long time.
But now it's so wonderful. People have come out of the closet. You know, the bank president now is not ashamed to say that he
They're
loves
walking to
women.
drive up to a red light, and they will roll the window down, leave it down, you know, instead of rolling up the window when they're listening to the radio. Great people think that learn they're listening to country music. She's a recent convert to it.
Jessi, really? Really?
It was,
Did you resist it for a long time?
well, I don't know. I kind of liked certain songs that get really big, like, you know, when I was growing up. I mean, in Arizona, like for the Western dances and things, you'd hear, you know, the really big ones. It was nothing to be ashamed of because that was just part of our upbringing, Western dances. You know, that's what you used it for. You know, but really it was later on in life that I grew kind of attached to it, you know, and discovered George Jones and Dod Gibson and understood Hank Williams' voice. At first I thought he was the worst singer I'd ever heard, you know.
Hank Williams?
Yeah. And kind of had to grow on me, you know, that I appreciated the really great artist in it.
You've done it now, you know that, don't you? What's that about Hank Williams?
Yeah. You sound like a cat.
When you went country, you really went country then. Hey, you two are just delightful, and I look forward to a time when we can spend more time together. But thank
Love
you
to.
for allowing us to come in here right before your opening.
It's been great.
We hope you have a great run here at Granny's.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We enjoyed it.
And I just have to get 4 reactions. Okay, and so first, Jessi, I'll look at you and read. Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You really can't answer. You're just going to watch me talk, right? Yes, you can't tell me how long you've been in this business or anything like that. You can just, you know, we're really delighted to be here because we were in Europe for almost a month, and then we had a little rest at home, and we really haven't picked up yet from the jet.
Yeah.
And to come home to Texas and play the Texas Islands.
Okay.
What's he talking about? She lied to you about you.
Tell me about Europe. Tell me what it was like for you there.
400 miles over. No, what's about is that actually it's great. I've never had not one of the place. And I was the one that got the cancer. I wouldn't go and ready to go. I mean, I hate to leave the United States and all that stuff. But I love it. You know, and the union honest in Germany. Well, all of them are just great. You know, they were fantastic. We did 4 television specials, 3 television specials. And everything was fine.
Great fans too. Yeah.
I think those is pretty good.
Do you and Waylon have a song that's your special song? Why is that your special song? Why is that a special song for you and Waylon? And then, let's see, he said, Are you saying then that you insisted she stay with that song and not throw it away? Okay, then let's see. What about this song, Latest News from Nashville? How did you come to write that song? And do they? What does Willie think about the song?
did you ever think, say 20 years ago, that country music would be so widely accepted as it is today? What was it that kept country music from being so widely accepted years ago? Okay. Now let's see. Then she got into, oh, okay. Jessi, how come you, Jessi, why did you resist country western music for so long? When you got into country, you really got into it, didn't you? Okay, I think that'll get